Alright, I feel like you can hear me now. Right? We're good. Are we good? Alright, you should be able to hear me now. I think, hopefully. Are we good? Bum bum.
Alright, I feel like you can hear me now.
Hey, you can hear me, yay. Okay, good.
Right, we're good.
We need some more music though.
Are we good?
We like better stuff, I guess. What up, we need music. Shouldn't be too loud.
You should be able to hear me now. I think. Are we good? Alright, I feel like you can hear me now. Hey,
Hey, hello there. Alert box, chat box. Bum 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 bum. You play Graal now? I've always played Graal. What? What kind of question is that?
Hey, hello there. Alert box, chat box. You play Graal now? I've always played Graal. What kind of question is that?
If there's only one way I could make this a little bit bigger. Oh, I can. Yay. And you can see that now. Dope. If only I could make my mic even louder, it would be better. Go play Graal. I won't be playing Graal. I mean, technically, I guess, just not era on this specific scenario we've found ourselves in right now. Bum ba bum bum, bum ba bum, bum ba bum bum, bum ba bum bum bum. Now go here now. All right, so let's switch over to where is it? Let's switch over to my screen, and now I should be able to start this little explanation thing. Let's see. So I feel like I should have the chat on my iPad so that I could read it. Your title says Graal. I mean, yeah, it's Graal. It's a game engine, you can see here, but I won't be really playing per se. All right, the goal of this little video will be to, and I feel like I need to lower the music a little bit. Okay, he's playing Graal. Are you happy? No need to be aggressive. We'll be fine. We'll sort this out. This is going to be a very educational video. If only I could get the goddamn chat box to show when it's supposed to. Lower the music down a little bit. This is not classic. This is my own server. There we go. The chat box should be showing, which it is. Switch over to the game screen. And I don't even know where the chat box for this is. Alright, whatever. Alright, so to what I actually wanted to do in this one video, I wanted to explain how you could make a ping tester within Graal. So this would be useful for, of course, getting to know the ping of somebody. And of course, for this you will need first and foremost a computer, sadly, and the other thing you'll need is access to a server within which you can script. In this case, I'm in my own server, so I can do pretty much what I want here, but that's not the point. All right, so back in the day, I used to make a ping tester the worst way possible, which was sending a request to the server and at the same time storing when that request was sent, and then from the server sending it back to client, and then calculating what the difference in time was. And that's technically how a ping works, but then I realized that there is a much better way of doing this. So, and it's also built into the engine, so it's probably the way you should learn how to do it. So first and foremost, we need to think about how we're going to be getting this ping. Like, is it going to be a command? Is it going to be triggered automatically? But I feel like for the purposes of this, right now I'm going to make it a command. And to do that, we're going to need a function on player chats. The nerves, man, I can't type. And let's do if player.chat equals to /ping, which is usually the command used everywhere for this. Then here's where the magic is going to happen. So the way that you do it, the way that it's built in, is that you need to make a request. So let's make a variable called temp.request. And this is what we're going to do. We're going to do player.ping. No, player.send ping, actually. And this is of course it's built into the engine. That's going to send a request of like to get the ping from the server, and then it's going to return that request with a onGetPing function. So now this is just sending the request. Now we need to catch it so that we can actually get what the actual ping was. So to catch it, we're going to do the following. We're going to do a this.catch event, and we need to target the event. We need to target the object that it is that we're wanting to catch. In this case, temp.request. And the function that receives the ping is called onGetPing. And we're going to make our own little custom function to receive that, which is going to be called, actually no, this is wrong. This is onReceivePing. Not 2 times. There we go. So onReceivePing is the function that receives the request or the ping information. And then our own little function is going to call onGetPing. There we go. Got those twisted for a second. So we are sending in the request, and we are preparing to receive the information on our own little function. So that function is going to be called onGetPing. And of course, we need to define that one function. So let's do that right now. Function onGetPing. And that is going to take in the parameters. So the parameters that you're receiving is temp.object, which is the object that sent the request, in this case temp.request. And then we have temp.player, which is the player that the request was sent for. And then temp.time, which is the results of that ping that we sent. So whenever we receive the time, it's not going to be in milliseconds as pings usually are. So let's see exactly what kind of information that we're getting, the kind of information that we're getting. So for the player that the request was sent for, let's do this. Temp that player, and it's an object, so I don't need to do something like find player, temp that player, or whatever. It's an object, so I don't have to do that anymore. We're gonna do this. Temp that player that chat equals temp that time. And again, it's not in milliseconds yet, so it's going to look a little bit odd. But let's see what we get. We're gonna press apply, and then we're going to say /ping. Oh, it does convert it, even better. Wait. Oh, actually, never mind. That's colliding with something else that I already have. Let's change this to something else, to colon ping. There we go. There we go. So this is the information that we're getting, and this is in seconds. So it took 0.067 seconds to get this request. Just so that you don't get confused, what I got before is I already have a way of getting pings on my server. So that's what I just received. So I had to change the name of the command to something else. So this is the information that we're getting. We're getting the amount in seconds. So we need to convert that time that we're getting, we need to convert that into milliseconds, which is what we're usually used to seeing in games. So to do that, we're going to make a variable called temp.ping, and if we wanted to convert it to milliseconds, again, there are 1,000 milliseconds in a second, so we're going to multiply it by 1,000. We're going to multiply the time variable, which is in seconds. We're going to multiply it by 1,000. So the ping is going to be equal to temp.time times 1,000, not 200, 1,000. There we go. And now if I do this, temp.player.chat equals temp.ping, we're going to get the ping, but it's not going to say milliseconds, it's just going to say the number. Oh, and it's also a float, so we should probably convert that into a whole number. And the way that we're going to do that is like this: int for integer or a whole number. There we go. Dope. And now if we say ping, it's going to say our ping. We could do that as many times as we want. So since we're used to seeing in milliseconds, we should probably have it say that it's in milliseconds. So I'm going to append this ms for milliseconds. And now this is going to look a little bit more familiar. If I do ping now, it's going to say 113 ms. Oh, hello, there I am. Then 73 ms, 109, etc., etc., etc. So what kind, and actually this is not good practice. Instead of putting that there, we could put it here, so that we don't mess up what the variable for the ping is, because we can actually use this for something else. So what can we do with this information? We could do a ping limited spar room would be nice. So, or not even a spar room, what am I saying? Just a ping limited level or ping limited room. So the way that we could do that is we could make a constant variable and call this max ping, and we could make this probably like 300 or something. And what we can do now is something like this. We can make another function now. Actually, not even. Okay. We could do this. We could do something like if temp that ping is greater than max underscore ping, then we could have the player say player.chat, actually temp that player equals my ping is too high. Or if it's not, then I could just have it say, or okay, how about this? After we say that, let's also add the ping, temp.ping. On this other case, we could do something similar. We could do temp.player.chat equals my ping is okay. And then also send the ping, and then we could get rid of this now. So if I do ping, it's gonna say, oh, what happened? We might have made a mistake somewhere. Turn the pings greater than, oh, I forgot a semicolon. It's always something. There we go. So now if we say ping, it's gonna say my ping is okay, 182, ping is okay, ping is okay, ping is okay. Let's make this lower, because actually, never mind, I almost reached it. Let's make this 100. So let's say that the max ping is 100. I was gonna say my ping's too high because it's 123. Let's do it again. It's gonna say, oh Jesus Christ, a whole second. But then you get the gist of it. So we could do something like, we could automate this. We could do something like, let's see, let's make a function. Let's make another function. Function send ping request. And then here we could send a player object. So temp that player. And here we're going to do the same thing. We're going to take this right here. Temp that player. And that's for this variable right here. So then here, I could do something like send ping request player. And I'm not changing much. It's going to do exactly the same thing as before. You know? But what I can do now is I can make another function, which is actually built in already. Function on player enters if timeout is less than or equal to 0, timeout. So then now I could do function on timeout, and then for temp.pl players, and I'll explain what this is doing in a second. Send ping request temp.pl, and then let's have this go every 5 seconds. So set timer 5. Okay, so whenever somebody comes into the level, it's going to check whether or not the little loop that we've created here is going to check whether or not it's running, or if it's actually going on. And this little loop is going to iterate through every player currently on the level, and it's going to send a ping request for them. So it's going to send a ping, and then for everyone on the level, it's going to do this stuff right here. It's going to say whether or not their ping is too high. And it's going to do this every 5 seconds. So let's try this. It did it once, then if I move around, it's going to remove my chat, and then it's going to do it again. And you could see where this is going, kind of. So we're getting ping requests every now and then. Now with this information, we could do something. We could do something like this. When we receive the ping, we could do something like. Let's make this like 150 or something. My ping's too high. I've been kicked from the level. And I'm actually not going to kick my player because it really makes no sense, but you get the idea. And then if the ping is not high enough, then we don't want to, if the ping is not over the limit, let's make this greater than or equal to, same thing. Okay, so you could see where this is going. Let's make some comments here just to make the stuff more readable. Wake up scripts for the loop. Iterate through every player and send a request to get their ping. Then it's going to do it every 5 seconds, and then send a request to get the ping of the player targeted. There we go. And then one more. Convert the ping received from seconds to milliseconds. If the ping is higher than the limit, kick the player from the room. And ideally, here's where you would have a kicking script of sorts. But again, I'm not going to do that here. It's just for the sake of explaining what would happen in that scenario. So we've got a variable for a max ping. We've got a loop that's going to go around every 5 seconds, checking the ping of everyone on the level. And then we've made a function which sends a request for each specific player. And then out of that request, we get their ping. And then here's where we can get we have the liberty of doing whatever we want with that information. It could just be something to check your ping. It could be used to make a ping limited room. It's really up to you. So yeah, that's pretty much it. That's the one thing that I wanted to explain. So at the time being, it's not really gonna do or say anything. There we go. My ping's too high. I've been kicked from the level. So that's actually what I've made for OWest here. I made these 3 rooms which constantly check the ping of the people inside it. Each room has a different level. So for example, this one right here is 150. Then this other one right here is 250 if I'm not mistaken. This one's 350. Where did we get those numbers from? It's just whatever I thought was more common, just to get like 3 different scenarios. So yeah, that's how it works. As soon as you go into the level right here, it would make sure that the timer is running like it does right here. And then it's going to be, the only difference that I've made for the one on OWest is that it's not taking just one singular ping. It's going to ping you like a certain amount of times over time, and then it's going to get the average out of that. So for example, let's say that, let's make some other NPC. Let's make and this is just for the sake of explaining, so let's just make this a comment. Let's have a variable called my pings, I don't know. And then this is going to have, like, I don't know, maybe I tested one time and it was 100. Maybe I tested some other time and it was 40. Some other times and it was 50. Some other times and it was 40 again or something. I don't know. And then it's going to, this is not exactly how it is on West, but I'm just trying to explain it. So it's going to divide, so for example, to get the average out of something like this, you would have to add them all together and then divide them by the quantity of pings that there are. So there's 1, 2, 3, and 4. So you would add those and divide them by 4, and then that's your average ping. That's how the one on OWest is working, and it's working fine. If you lag out of it, it's going to kick you out, and that's a system that I think is it's something that a lot of people wanted, and we were able to implement it, and so we did. And that's kind of what wanted me to make this tutorial, because it's something that could be very, very helpful. But yeah, that's that's the tutorial really. There's nothing much to it. The rest of it is up to you and to whatever it is you want to do with that information. Alright, so that really concludes the tutorial, and I hope that I get some other idea that I could explain to you guys some other time. But that's it for now. You guys have a lovely rest of your days.